trading places, Antoine Griezmann and Joao Felix are thriving at Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. A hat trick will do that, and will move Antoine Griezmann to immortality as the greatest scorer in the history of Atletico Madrid. The 3 goals he needs, at his current level, will come soon enough. But it would be a nice touch for him to get closer to that milestone on Sunday, at Barcelona, the club that broke off its long romance with Atletico. Griezmann is not a prolific scorer of hat tricks, although he did score his 4th goal in Atletico colours in October at Celta Vigo, part of a golden sequence of performances that, when not involving goals, boast a wider repertoire than ever before. For the 32-year-old, he looks more in control of his game than ever. He is a striker who has developed into a brilliant midfielder when the circumstances demand it. In delivering passes in open play or from a dead ball, there is greater versatility than ever before. Most of all, Griezmann looks at his environment fully, and with his boss's plans and strategies. He and Atletico Madrid coach Diego Simeone go back a long way. When Griezmann takes part against Barcelona, in this weekend's heavyweight La Liga clash, he will do so for the 360th time under the long-serving Simeone. Their time together could have extended even longer, with Griezmann having long since surpassed Luis Aragonés' record of 173 goals for Atletico, a record set almost 50 years ago. But in 2018, for years after moving to Madrid from Real Sociedad, the France international became troubled. He wanted to be somewhere with a better guarantee of championships. He wondered whether a different club and a different coach might have provided a better platform for his creativity than Simeone's Atletico, whose archetype is tenacious defending and counter-attacking. Griezmann had publicly considered a move to Barcelona, then backed out of the move Barcelona had pushed for and, after angering fans and executives at both clubs with his evasiveness, went through with the transfer a year later. Barcelona paid more than €100 million for Griezmann. The move was not a huge success, but the motivation behind it has since been reconsidered by another €100 million footballer, many years younger than Griezmann but with some of the same skill set. Joao Felix has spent much of the last 12 months expressing his dissatisfaction with the way Simeone likes the game to be played, and their breach has had seismic repercussions. Felix, who was signed from Benfica as a 19-year-old on the back of the fee Atletico received from Barcelona for Griezmann in 2019, is the most expensive player to join Atletico. Given his qualities as a playmaker with vision and a delicate touch, his arrival signaled a more aesthetic football than the traditional Simeone stereotype. But 3 years later, Felix is not convinced. Atletico, as he put it in an interview, prefers a football based on endurance and pressure absorption. In January, Felix moved on loan to Chelsea in search of something that better suited his style. Instead, he found a club going through a random transition. In August, still the property of Atletico, he joined Barcelona on loan. So far, very promising. He scored on his home debut. 3 nights ago, he scored the goal that secured Barcelona top spot in their Champions League group. There are signs of growing collusion with Barcelona coach Xavi. Felix is at the front of the long line for a starting place in Barcelona's attacking line. Shortly before Barcelona completed their comeback from a goal down against Porto on Tuesday, the coach and player were seen conferring on the touchline during a break in play, with Xavi saying, "This is your moment." When Felix immediately hit the Porto crossbar and then scored the winner, the words seemed prophetic, or at least inspiring. Back in 2019, Griezmann also got off to a good start to his Barcelona career. Like Felix, he scored on his home debut. But 2 years later, he returned to Atletico, initially on loan, and then, for a fraction of the cost Barcelona paid for him, permanently. The move to Catalonia was not in the interest of the player or Barcelona. There were doubts among Atletico fans about Griezmann's return, and there remained a feeling of betrayal. But listening to Simeone now means admitting that all is forgiven. Griezmann, who has scored 13 goals this season, is living up to a high standard. Not everyone was happy about his return, but I was convinced that Griezmann was born to play for Atletico, Simeone recalled recently. I feel lucky to be the coach of a player like him. Against Barcelona, with whom Atletico is tied on points but slightly ahead of them, in third place, on goal difference, this is Griezmann's moment. But Joao Felix, who will face Diego Simeone and Atletico for the first time, has every motive to turn that into his goal.